What is up, the world of the living? My name is Lex and welcome back to Truly Bedrock. Friends, in the last episode I promised that I will be returning to my nether base for one last haul to bring back home an absolutely enormous amount of glorious materials on a brand new ship. Holy crap, that's gonna be so much work. Why did I say that? Nobody asked me to say that. Nobody cares. Sloy, why do you need to constantly try to impress your own audience? They already are very much impressed with you. So here we are, back at this base. And you know what? Well, honestly, it feels like home. Maybe it's because of the fog remover resource pack that I'm running, which, by the way, is literally called just fog remover. There it is. Or maybe something else, but I'm just loving this place, how vibrant and glorious it is, and how absolutely great Mara the ship looks here in the nether. And there's another thing that I really like about this place. And it's not really about this place in particular, it's about this place down here. Oh my god, I love my Hoggo farm. The delicious bits of freshly baked hoglins are just music to my ears, except taste buds, basically. So we just do this. And we got ourselves a snack and a fully fixed pair of shoes. And a fully fixed axe. And a fully fixed basically anything. I like being here and I love this base and I'm glad that we're returning to it. So, you know what? Today, let's just make it pretty. Because you know me, you know I'm capable of, sticking to it and chopping down enormous amount of wood. Or an enormous amount of blackstone or an enormous amount of basalt. And all the other materials that with the next update, absolutely all of them are gonna be flipping AFK-able. This is kind of the last haul, so let's make this place a little bit more pretty. And hey, we do need to build that giant ship. And you know what builds the ships? Shipyards. And shipyards are actually quite an interesting and fascinating thing to be building here in Minecraft. I've done some research, by which I mean I just kind of scrolled through Google results for Minecraft shipyard. And it seems that shipyards generally seem to be two particular things. One, it's a dry dock, and dry dock is, well, kind of this type of area. It's some sort of a hollowed out opening or something beyond a little bit of a dam, where you can basically just build your ship hull in peace without that pesky water interfering. Now, this screenshot is very indicative of what we're talking about. You can see that's the ship's body, there's an entire ship itself, and after it's built, they just basically remove the supports and let the water in. Now, we are building flying ships, gas-powered ones, so we will not be bothering with the dry dock itself, but I kind of already have it built. Here it is right here, and yeah, it's not the most convenient one. For one, we don't have any ground for the potential builders to stand on. And that's gonna be a little bit of a problem. For two, we don't have the walls, which will also be pretty neat. And for three, we don't have the ship's hull itself being assembled. Which, all things that we can work on, definitely. The second part that the shipyards are is, well, giant cranes. Giant cranes lugging around wood, wood and other ship materials. And then there's the third thing that I want to add myself, just kind of from my own creativity. And that is the sewing quarters, or the very least like some sort of a sewing machinery for the sails. Because here in the nether, you ain't gonna get a wool farm, ain't no grass around. But you know what is around? Striders. So I want strider stables. Somewhere in here, in a way where it's evident that the striders are being farmed and either sheared or killed for their delicious hair. One or the other. And I do believe that we have plenty of space for all of that. So you know what? Let's start with something more akin to, filling in this hole down here. Build some sort of a hull of some sort of a ship in it, and then we'll just see how it looks, Oh hey, I remember that I still have a basalt farm down here. Sure, the gas blaster doesn't work, but the farm is still here, is it? Yeah, there it is. Oh my lord. And there's so much basalt left in it. Oh, this is glorious. Not only will this help me with the large, you know, the big hole of the entire ship, but also, it is exactly the texture I decided to use for the floor at the very least in the dry docks. And yeah, look, the point of the dry docks, the style that I want the dry docks to look is I want to use basalt top texture or side texture or whatever. I'm pretty sure side texture on the bottom, and I want to use some other texture that I brought with me from the overworld on the side to make the walls look a little bit more reinforced. Though honestly, the stone pillars are already doing a great job of it. Just like the basalt floor is doing a great job of making this into a flipping magma cream farm. I hate it. I hate that I can't have a flat surface around here. But hey, don't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Even if this thing will spawn ghasts, which it will not, as soon as we put together some sort of a ship remnant inside of this entire hole. It's still gonna be pretty cute, pretty cool, pretty interesting. I mean, look at this from far away. You can see what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, I'm trying to convince myself that I'm using the nether brick here because it's gonna look nice, because it looks like really reinforced and powerful. And totally not just because it really sounds nice when you place it now. After the nether update. Because they updated the brick sound and like, just listen to it. It's so nice, isn't it? It's so nice. Okay, this is looking pretty nice. This is looking pretty sweet in my personal opinion. Them dogs, very dry, but also, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is just a box, okay? This is just a box that we've built. It's not necessarily an accomplishment. However, this is the time, my friends, when we get to actually do something fun. This is the time when we get to build a half-built ship, suspended inside of this box and, you know, waiting to be finished and let into the air, into the lava lake, into the wherever. So, yeah, how about that, huh? Look, here's one thing that came up when I was researching how, like, you know, ships are built. Back, like, in the year 2000 or so, when I was first attempting my first sailboat for Minecraft. Imagine this. Usually, what you would do is you would create the ruddery type of deal, like the main spine of the ship. That would be going something like this. For example, I'm not saying all of them, but more or less, this is how you would build them. In the medieval times, in the Victorian days, in the whatever, you know, in the past, in the stupid past people before metal was, you know, abundant enough to create metal ships. Point being, you make one of these boys, and then you make one of these boys. Every couple of, you know, every couple of blocks, every couple of somethings, every other few, you get your, you know, perpendicular ribs coming all the way up to the deck, like this, and say like this. But in the meantime, you also add, you know, you just grow a little bit of a meat. Put a little bit of a plank, put a few planks between the ribs, and get it looking all nice and sweet and complete. And look at that, we basically built half a, you know, half a vessel right here. This is half a tiny boat, let's put it that way, that we're already building here. And that's just me telling you the example. That's just from me trying to explain to you what we're trying to accomplish. So here's what I say. Do you notice here, and it probably is helped by the choice of materials, that this entire thing kinda looks like a ribcage. So what if we actually just straight up made the core of the ship, the bones of the ship, into actual bones, into an actual ribcage of whatever horrifying monster we fished out of the lava lakes. Because hey, there are fossils down here in the nether, in the soul sand valleys and whatnot. So it would make sense that with our giant cranes we at one point fished out some sort of critter out of the lava lake, stripped all the remaining, you know, charcoaly meat off of it, and used the bones from it to create another flying ship. I feel that would be just an absolutely glorious backstory, and all we would have to tell it, all we have to do to tell it, is just build something resembling a ribcage in this dry dock right here. Point being, I'm off. I'm sorry. We already have giant bones down there, so I'm off to go hunt down some quartz. I don't actually have any firework rockets. I'm about to land in lava lake and die. Yep. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this guy has a saddle on him. No, don't go away! Come on, dude. Just a little bit. Hey, there we go. I don't have any funguses or anything. No, the other way! Alright, smooth quartz? Hell yes. But we're currently using smooth quartz, particularly stairs, and in a pretty interesting manner, which is why I'm bringing you in right now. Because I feel you'll find this fascinating, if not useful for your own builds. So here's the trick. We are trying to do a spine here. Like, this is the main bone, and at first I was like really upset about this being an even one instead of an odd one, because you can see we have two in the middle instead of one. Here's the trick though. I can use this, and I can use this to my advantage. And I can use it to my advantage thanks to the nature of the stairs. Look at this, and 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 wow! Would you look at that? Thing. I know, I'm not the best at explaining this, but look. If we do something along these lines, what we end up with is a very three-dimensional shape. It's kind of even, in every single direction, and I'm really liking it. So what if we build several of these just in a row? Won't that look like it's joints? Not joints, but like, you know, the beats of your spine. I don't remember what they're called, I'm not a chiropractor, but you get what I'm saying, right? And hey, if I want to make this either a longer joint or a bigger one, look what I can do. I can swap to full blocks, and voila! Now it's like a thicker joint, like it's a bigger piece of the spine. It does kind of look like bones, which is really all that we're trying to accomplish here. Oh, and I almost forgot. And in the meantime, while the quartz was smelting, I took the time and just built the first of the many cranes that I want to have in this area. Look at that! It's not the biggest one, because it seems to be purposed specifically for delivering materials and like installing materials down here onto the already built ship. And it's currently dragging around a giant rib. Honestly, I personally really like. And now with all the ribs in place, it really is looking like a skeleton. Does not look like a ship's frame though. And I'm guessing that's where the planks come in. Like really, it seems a little bit silly to be using planks here in the nether. But I do feel that it's the better way of conveying that something is under construction. Is just using materials that we perceive more or less as temporary. So I want to maybe fill in a couple of these blobs and blotches down here, just making it look like people have been working on it, trying to make this into something. You can certainly see that this is a skeleton. You can certainly see that there's been some bizarre work done. And yes, you can certainly see that this is in no way the vessel that I promised you will build, but you gotta understand. This one I want to remain here. This one I want to stay in this area as a permanent decoration. That one will be built in right where we want it right away. So, you know. And I mean, of course I'm gonna roleplay that it got there on its own. Like it sailed there. But at the same time, cut me some slack, okay? I can't be building every single vehicle I build 5 times just to create an illusion that it can actually move. And here's a fun new development. I figured out what to use the screamcopter for. Look at that. If you just fly off into the distance, you'll remember that we have a few ship remnants just kind of sticking out from the lava lakes. And now we can tell why the screamcopters are here. The screamcopters are being used by these ship builders, by this shipyard, to salvage the pieces of them. And we can see one already carrying around, you know, a mast with a little bit of a remnant of sail on it. I really like it. I think it's a great use for them. It's a good idea. Much better one than the one I wanted to use them for at first, which was, again, cargo. Helicopters, you know, at least of this size, won't really do well with cargo, I feel. But this seems just, you know, lightweight enough for this freaking thing to be able to handle. And also, at the same time, it makes sense that there would be helicopters, as in not vessels, helping to salvage the ship remnants. Because, hey, hi, yes, lava. Lava hurt bad, but it won't hurt a helicopter because helicopter is above it. Although, really, the winds from the rising heat and all that kind of stuff, yeah, let's not go into the physics of the nether too much. It kind of makes my brain hurt. And after so many weeks, I finally add the one thing I was planning from the very beginning. We finally got ourselves the little fishing rod that is currently fishing stuff out of the lava lake. Basically, now we have a whole production line here figured out. They're fishing out some bones from the lava lake, from the blood beach down here, just, you know, to see what they can find and see what they can also use. In reality, they're of course looking for lava-bound netherite, but that didn't really pan out that well, so currently they're just like seeing what they can find. And they've been finding bones more and more of bizarre creatures that used to roam these lava oceans. You know, the ones with the fossils, that kind of stuff. They then repurpose those bones using the cranes as the base for the, you know, for the ships, for the more pirate ships. And also, since this era is all cursed, and there's a bunch of vessels already that have already perished here, they're just reusing, fishing out the debris from the from the lava lake, using the screamcopters and putting those sails, you know, to work, just reusing some of the materials that have not yet burnt down. I like this. I really like this, and I feel like we had quite a fun story with this shipyard figured out. The only thing that you will ask is, yes, Loy, where they getting wool? Where they getting wool, Loy? Where they getting the string? Where's the Strider stables that you promised? And look. We got point of interest here, point of interest here, point of interest there, point of interest there, point of interest there, point of interest there. I honestly just don't know where to put them. I mean, down there seems to be a pretty okay place for that, but I so do not want to work on that. Call this laziness? Not really. I'm not feeling the Strider stables just now. Maybe it's because the Striders are an absolute butt to wrangle around. Even though you can lead them fairly easily, they're like so slow and frustrating. I don't want to deal with the Striders, alright? Also, here's a quick fun detail, is the blood beach down there, it's full of like bones that are made out of sandstone and are a tiny bit more yellow than the white ones that we're pulling out of the sea. That's kind of the point, that's the idea, because the bones that are scattered across the beach are supposed to be the ones that the people that are working on this thing have discarded. Like, they didn't feel like using them, they were like either too small or too big, or like just was a skull and didn't fit anywhere. So they just like dropped them down on the beach. And that's just like, I'm sorry for the tangent, it's just something that I had an idea for. And would you look at that, now that I actually had some new spawn places open up. Instantly piglins. Man, I would love this base. I love this base, alright? I love it already. But I would love it so much more if it was, after all, a warped wood biome. Anyway, I feel super productive. And it's really cool. But now, it's time to hit the grind. It's time to get that wood and deliver it on a giant big vessel, on some cool rad ship back to the old store. And maybe with all the new supply, it would also be the time for me to finally upgrade Alice. But all of that will have to wait till the next episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been LoyXP. This has been Truly Bedrock. To be continued. Have a good one. Bye bye.